You wake up in a world that's already made decisions about who you are, your gender, your duty, your God, your country. These are presented to you as immutable truths, the bedrock of your reality. But what if these grand narratives are elaborate phantoms demanding your allegiance? Ideals like absolute truth, universal justice, or prescribed goodness sound admirable, don't they? They are presented as noble aspirations, but Stirner saw them as potential prisons, gilded cages. They are external ideas, often ancient and unexamined, against which you are constantly encouraged to measure yourself. Am I good enough according to this standard? Am I just in the eyes of this abstract principle? You risk becoming a slave to the disembodied idea of virtue. Stirner's razor is sharp here. If the source of the ideal is not you, it's not yours. It's an imposition, a foreign code running on your internal hardware. Instead of chasing an externally defined perfection, Stirner advocates for something far more radical: own your imperfection. Live from your desire, your consciously acknowledged and affirmed will, not from someone else's blueprint for a good human. Stirner had a term for the abstract concepts that dominate our lives: spooks. Think of them as phantoms, conceptual ghosts that haunt our minds and societies. Ideas like the nation, God, humanity, the law, even progress. These are powerful forces, invisible yet exerting immense pressure, controlling your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Stirner proposes radical questioning. Would I still believe this if no one had told me to? If the answer is no, you are likely dealing with a spook. Real power begins when you stop worshiping these ghosts and start choosing what's real for you. This isn't about denying the utility of all concepts, but about demoting them from sacred objects to mere tools. Recognizing spooks is the first step towards reclaiming your mental and spiritual autonomy. Most people don't actually know what they genuinely, deeply want. They know what they are to want. Society, family, education, media, they all provide a comprehensive menu of pre-approved desires. But Stirner poses a far more challenging question. What do want when no one is watching? What would you pursue with passion and dedication, even if it meant disappointing your parents or violating the unspoken rules of your social circle? To live for that authentic desire, that is the essence of Stirner's concept of ownership. It's about aligning your life force with the deepest currents of your individual will. This is an act of profound courage, because it often means stepping off the well-trodden path and accepting the responsibility for creating your own meaning. The term egoist or self-interested carries negative connotations, conjuring images of selfishness and narcissism, but Stirner demands us to embrace our ego in a deep, existential way. Your ego, your I, is the irreducible starting point of your entire experience of reality. Stirner's assertion is stark. Your life is an ode to humanity as an abstract collective. When you choose to help others, Stirner argues that the authentic egoist does so not because they are supposed to. True self-interest doesn't necessarily mean hurting others. It means an unflinching honesty about your motivations. It's about recognizing that even your most altruistic acts must ultimately be rooted in your own sovereign self. You've heard someone declare, "I live for the cause." Whether that cause is political, religious, social, or artistic. Stirner would respond, if you live the cause, then you're not truly living your own life. You've subordinated your unique existence to an abstraction. Ideas, even beautiful ones, are best understood as tools. Think of a hammer, a chisel, or a pen. They are instruments to shape your reality, to achieve your aims, to express your will. If they become cumbersome or demand the sacrifice of your unique self, you must have the courage to drop them. You are the blacksmith of your own meaning, forging values and purposes from your own existence. For years you've been conditioned to feel guilt or shame for choosing yourself. Stirner identifies this internalized censor as the inner policeman. This is the voice that whispers, "You can't do that. You shouldn't want that. What will people think?" The crucial question Stirner forces us to confront is, who put that voice there? The answer is often a coalition of external authorities that have shaped your upbringing. Owning yourself means engaging in the difficult work of dismantling this fake authority. It means recognizing that its voice is often an echo of external powers, not the authentic expression of your own will. The goal is to silence that imposed authority and install your own sovereign judgment as the guiding principle of your life. Words are the fabric of our thoughts, our communication, our understanding of the world. But Stirner warns us that words are dangerous because we often mistake the word for the underlying truth. Words like sin, duty, sacred, unnatural function as chains disguised as meaning. The Stirnerian approach is to reclaim your power from language by treating words as tools, not as masters. If a word doesn't empower you, redefine it for your own purposes or discard it entirely. This is about becoming conscious of the linguistic cages we inhabit and forging linguistic keys to unlock them. Society constantly tells you, be consistent. Develop a stable identity, a predictable set of beliefs. But Stirner poses a radical counter-question. Why? You are not a brand to be marketed. You are a living, breathing, evolving force of nature, a dynamic process. One day you might feel compassion, the next you might focus on your own needs. That's not hypocrisy, that's freedom. Own your contradictions and embrace the complexities of your inner world. When we think of property, we think of legal definitions. But Stirner approaches property from a more primal perspective. For him, property isn't primarily a legal construct, it's an existential one. He asserts, what I have in my power, that is my own. If you control something, your body, your time, your attention, your mind, then it is yours. If you let someone else control these aspects of your being, you have ceded your property. Own your space, choices, and identity fiercely, for in this control lies your power and freedom. Stirner doesn't say be alone, rather he says never in a way that subsumes your uniqueness. He critiques relationships founded on obligation, duty, or societal pressure. Instead, he proposes the union of egoists. This is a fluid association of free individuals who come together out of shared will and mutual self-interest. They unite for a common purpose, for as long as that alignment persists. If the union ceases to serve the unique interests of the individuals involved, they walk away. This is real connection, because it is freely chosen and continuously renewed. You are not a role that society has cast for you. You are not merely a name, a label to be filed away. You are not a servant of a system. You are, first and foremost, for yourself. Want to go deeper into this philosophy? Read The Ego and Its Own by Max Stirner. If this video sparked something in you, like, comment, and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered philosophy. Until next time, stay sovereign, take care of yourselves, and truly take ownership of yourselves.